first week due to Team Red eliminating, and then they ended up losing their match last week. However, Benji, who do you personally think is going to get this first win here?
I think Matthias's team. I don't necessarily know him, but I've played against Matthias's team for a very long time. But as I said, Septic gets a goal, but Matthias and Savage, these guys are very experienced. So I think these guys will just out experience these more newer academy teams.
Exactly, and I can't wait to see how all these teams continue to progress as the season moves on. Remember, that's what Academy is for. That's what Havoc Esports is for, is to give everybody a path to that professional scene, whether they just looking to have fun or improve in general or actually go professional. That's what we like to do here. And of course, all these teams have been putting in the practice, they've been putting in the work, so they can try to be one of those top 2 teams to go to the promotion relegation tournament to have a chance to make it into that main league playoff. Benji, what teams are you more specifically looking at to make that promotion relegation tournament?
Especially showing from last week, I think Azrael's team is definitely the clear contender to make it through the playoffs. The promotion relegation, and actually take down some of those lower level Havoc teams. That I said this last week, but if these lower level Havoc teams aren't careful, they are going to get taken out by these more, I wouldn't say experienced, but these higher level academy teams just are working a lot harder than these teams. I think they are putting in more hours because they really want to be in main league. Main league is so different and so just incredibly higher level than academy. So I think really want that.
Of course, in Academy, we see the offense. It almost reminds me a lot of Oceania in South America when they both first got into the scene. Their offenses were amazing. So much speed, so much power on their shots, and they were able to do some damage when they first entered the scene. However, their defense has always been what's lackluster. So, and that's one thing we're going to have to look at going these next final weeks, next couple of tournaments, to see if the defense can get picked up from both of the winning teams that are going to make it to that promotion relegation tournament.
Definitely, as we saw last week, I think it was Billy Tusili's roster. He had some great offense, but you could see a couple own goals, especially on defense, where they just didn't really have the necessary skills to get those defensive saves, and a couple own goals did occur.
Indeed, but now almost entering the midpoint of the game, still 1-0 to the likes of Team Gold. Team Gold, of course, they lost to Team Black in the very first week. It was the first seed versus the last seed, but now it's going to be up to them to try and make it to that playoff to maybe even get revenge against the likes of Team Black who destroyed them in that first round.
Definitely, I think since Academy is a lot smaller than actual main league, there's a lot of chances to play these teams who maybe at the beginning of the season you were getting destroyed by, you weren't really keeping up with them, but as the season just goes further and further, you have more time to get experience and play these teams more and more, and so you really understand how they play, and so I think some upsets could occur.
Exactly, but now we have officially passed the midway point of game number 1, and Team Gold is still in the lead. Up going to be up to Savage and Matthias both. Remember, they were on Team Red for a good part of the end of split number 2. Now they're playing an Academy, and they're not being able to keep up with these new incoming Academy players. It's honestly very, very surprising. Of course, Matthias and Savage aren't playing with the likes of Echo Spirit, who's probably one of the best third men Havoc has ever seen, aside from you, Benji. But now, what do you think it's going to have to be for It's Ya Boy to step up? I don't think he can really fill into the likes of Echo Spirit's shoes, but hold on one second. Matthias gets the tying goal here.
This is a great pass from Savage and Matthias. Therefore, really the experience actually beats two of the people challenging, outspeeds them. But as you're saying with It's Your Boy, I think he definitely has some big shoes to fill. But I think if he just takes a step back and realizes what he can do, because he is a very skilled player, so he needs to realize what he can do and just play his own game. Not really try to fill in where Echo Spirit was, but just fill in where he knows he can.
Exactly. We'll just take one moment. Welcome everybody to the chat. It's been a pleasure casting for you guys these last few weeks. I'm sure Benji has had at least a little bit of fun as well. Looks like we got a hello Luke from Flex Empty. Hello Flex. Welcome back to the stream. Pleasure seeing you here. Everybody in chat though, before we get back into the cast, after seeing this first game, do you guys think this will go all the way to a Game 5? You think it'll be a sweep? Honestly, with how close game number 1 is, I think it could be all the way to a Game 5. But chat, what do you think?
I think we mentioned last week about nerves, especially in the game five between those two teams. But nerves will definitely be at its peak at these games because this is for qualification. This is the last chance you have to. You had chances before to play your game, but this is the last chance you have to show what you have, or else you're going to be waiting till the next split.
Exactly. Well, not to the next split. We still have 2 more tournaments after this, but of course we do want to make sure that they keep doing well. Otherwise, if they'll have to essentially win the next 2 tournaments if they want even a chance to make it to that promotion relegation tournament, because at this moment in time, Team Sapphire and Team Black are definitely the heavy favorites, and we haven't even seen Team Red play.
Definitely. We have a lot of the high-level teams that are just pulling away with these points, and we need to see just more. As I said, Matthias with an incredible shot. Savage and Matthias on offense, passing and just scoring with each other. The experience just showing, and they get the lead for their team, which they're behind, I'd say, for at least half the game. So pulling out this close with only 19 seconds left is great for them.
And one thing to take note of is Team Gold are playing with their sub, Ghostmind. He is their official sub. And so far they haven't been looking horrible, but at the same time, they only got that first goal at the beginning, and it's only gone downhill since. Team Aqua are doing really well at this moment in time, keeping that aggressive stance, trying to do their best to keep the ball out of the other team's hands, and it's working out for them.
Even though the score is only 2-1, there's been many more shots for Team Aqua than Team Gold. I think it's about 6-2, so incredible showing on their offense. But let's see if their defense can do good, because they do have one save, but I think their offense is adapting to different playstyles, because they might go against a team that really counteracts their playstyle, so they have to maybe try new different playstyles, maybe get more aggressive, get more demo heavy, try doing different things. So if they really are just stuck and can't get past Team Gold, then they might have to try something new, which the adaptation will then be seen.
Exactly. Now it's going to be over to Rado Eagle. Isn't able to get up to the ball. Matthias passes the ball mid to Savage. It's going to be a shot on target. It's going to be off the post. And it's going to be off the post again. Again, the enemy of Matthias Maximus, the 4th man on defense. Normally, and it's something that Matthias hasn't been able to fix even since when he was in main league last season. He wasn't able to really put the ball anywhere but into the crossbar or into the post. How do you think Matthias Maximus is going to fix that type of thing? Because honestly, he's a very mechanical player, but when it comes to that final shot, just not able to put it in the net.
I think he needs to just take things more slower at a time, because I feel like he's rushing a lot of these shots. These shots don't really need to be rushed, and he's shooting just so fast that he has no control over shots. And I feel like that's more of a plague with all of Academy, because we've talked about it in previous weeks that these teams, the margins for winning and losing games is in your shooting accuracies. Can you put that ball in between the 2 posts? So to fix those, I mean, maybe that's what he needs to do. Just slow it down.
Exactly, and something that we even saw from the last North American Regional when Envy faced off in that quarterfinal or semifinal, I don't remember which one. They ended up, Turbo Pulsa had a 4% shooting average, and they had a lot of shots going into that series, so it's definitely something that can make or lose games in regards to a lot of different teams. So if Team Aqua can't pick up that accuracy, then again, even though they have so much pressure, they might end up losing.
Definitely, it really is the most important part of the game. If you can't put the ball in the net, then you can't win. So these teams really have to realize that they have incredible mechanics, but mechanics won't carry you through all these games. You have to be able to shoot, have good positioning, which I think definitely most of these players are good positionally. Maybe need to work on some things, but the accuracy, as I said, Savage bottom corner shoots it just wide open net for Savage.
And I actually got to talk to Savage earlier tonight, and apparently he said he's feeling really, really comfortable tonight. And I think that's showing. He managed to help his team come back in game number 1, and now he gets the first goal in game number 2.
Definitely, I think these players who have these confidence can be those impact players for the team and just pop off. Which you want to see them pop off, because it's always welcome to have somebody just playing a lot better than they usually would. But if you have a team just carrying like that, I feel like teams like Team White, who just have Pixcar, who is incredibly skilled, but if it's a team-based game, so if he's the only one performing on his team, then it could crumble.
Exactly, and it's how Team White ended up losing to Vision Esports Black last week. Now, I believe, above Esports Black. They're changing names every other week. But it's still, overall, I can't... using one player to be your whole strategy, it doesn't end up working out. But as we can see, even though Savage is popping off, he's not just using it to shoot, he's passing it to his teammates as well. Look at this pass here off the back, right out mid, and it's your boy with the shot into the midfield line with the aerial shot. I mean, aerial shooting is something that sometimes we don't even see out of higher level players, so great mechanics coming out on offense from It's Your Boy.
Definitely, It's Your Boy is really fitting into this roster really well. You didn't really see it from that, but he was positioned perfectly for the pass from Savage, so it just shows the chemistry that they have now.
Exactly, but now 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Team Aqua definitely stepping up. They have not gotten scored on since that very first goal in game number 1, and they're still doing very well. At this moment in time, Benji, how do you think Team Gold are going to have to adapt, as you said before, to get this win?
I think definitely they have to more just counteract the offense. And so if they counteract this offense, they can really just do some damage, but right now they're stuck into their own half.
That's indeed correct. Look at this here, though, from Matthias, but looking for a pass out mid. It's going to be really, really wide. Savage going to be looking for a touch off the corner. Now back out mid. It's going to be blocked away once again. Team Gold, they're very solid on defense. They just aren't able to get the ball out of their half. I mean, as I say, that Ghost Miner does get it out, but it seems like to be a problem of lack of taking possession for Team Gold right now. Maybe if they took some possession and got the ball away from from his opponents, then they won't be getting scored on, and maybe they'll get some more chances. But at this moment in time, it's just not enough.
If they can understand that, hey, maybe we're not as fast as these guys, then they can start playing at their level and matching them with these 50-50s and just keeping possession of the play, like you said.
Exactly. It's something that a lot of people don't realize is if you're playing against a better team, maybe going faster isn't necessarily the best option. Maybe instead take possession, and instead of forcing beats on the other team, like going for it, like don't go for an air dribble if you're playing against the likes of Justin, for example. What you would do is you just keep the ball in front of your car, lose a 50 to your teammate who might be able to do something else with it when he has that space.
Definitely, it's all about consistency. If you're not getting scored on, then you're not losing, so as long as you're not getting scored on, you're still technically in the game, so you really want to keep these games close. But I think some of these lower academy level teams don't really have that full understanding of, but I do see it every single week. They start to understand it more and more.
Exactly, and their mechanics are very, very solid. They're able to hit the ball where they want to hit it. Now it's just getting to the point where they have to be able to do it while under pressure. The ball's off the crossbar. Ghost Minded gets his first goal in Havoc history with the first goal here in game number 2.
Definitely, this could be the spark for them. Plenty of time, 47 seconds, maybe kickoff goal or so, but definitely a little bit of a slower roller in the net, but still a goal.
Well, there we go. That's what we like to see. 47 seconds left on the clock. Team Gold still could theoretically come back. Maybe that's what they needed to open up the floodgates, or maybe it was just a fluke once again. We saw them get one goal and fall apart by the end of game number 1, but can they keep it together this time? Ball's going to be off the backboard. Bump coming in from Savage. Now, it's your boy going off the sidewall, looking for the solo play. It's going to go off the backboard, though, and Team Gold will pinch it away.
Savage now going for an air dribble. Almost gets the bump, but except he gets the save, but it's a pass to Matthias, and cementing themselves another 4-1 lead. I think this game is basically over.
Indeed, I mean, look at this here from Savage. He forced Septic to jump. Septic just didn't have the ability to put the ball over to the side on defense. That's one thing that a lot of Academy players tend to have, especially at lower ranks, is once they get the mechanics to be able to save the ball, then they have to realize that it's not just enough to save the ball as you get it higher in the ranks. You have to be able to place it where you want. Generally, the safest place you can put the ball on defense is in your own defensive corner, but in the end, you just never want to clear out the ball to the middle in any sort of formation.
Definitely, or clear the ball to any incoming opponents, because you're only delaying the inevitable, really. You get about 2 seconds before they just start hammering back, and I think that's the game of the end of game number 2, and a 2-0 lead in the series would have to be
3. But if they don't, I think the defensive-minded Team Gold might be able to sneak away with a win.
Definitely more of like a ghost play style where you can get that first goal leader, then just hunker down and have that great defense, which I think this this Team Aqua squad could definitely do. So, but Team Gold really need to force the offense to get some goals.
Oh, ball's bouncing down middle. Chance here for Team Gold. It's going to be a double commit, though. Ghost Minded, he commits his last man back. Is the ball on target? It looks like it is. Oh, my goodness. It's off the post. Team Gold once again gets saved by the 4th man.
I think Savage actually thought it was off. He actually went towards a little bit to the left, and the ball bounced perfectly right. So, just a little bit off the post, saving them in that play.
Exactly, but here comes Rado Eagle with a beautiful aerial to put the ball off his own top corner, but ends up centering out mid, and Matthias not hitting the crossbar this time will get his first goal.
Just Rado Eagle tries to get a save, but actually just passes right to Matthias, and no defense in mind. Ghost Miner just shoot up a little bit too far and not necessarily back post him.
And it was a very good idea there from Rado Eagle too. He put it into the corner, he put it high, but he ended up putting it in the perfect spot for it to bounce out rather than bounce down. Very unlucky there in regards to his touches, but that's why we have to practice mechanics in order to make sure that we can avoid stuff like that happening. Rado Eagle this time putting off the sidewall again. It's going to be a pass to It's Ya Boy. Here comes Septic. Septic taking the ball down the field. He loses the 50 from Savage, and it's going to be right out to Matthias. And 2-0 up now in the first minute.
He is really wanting to end this game fast. He does not want to go to a game 5. Already 2 goals for him in the first minute.
Here we go, though. Matthias really popping off, playing on the, oh my goodness. Everybody in chat, I know you're very happy that you guys got Grand Champ at some point in time. However, I will not accept it if you wear any of those red tags. That color is absolutely horrendous. However, that is my opinion, and other people have wrong opinions. So everybody in chat, why would you guys use the red tag outside of it just being you guys got GC for the first time?
I don't think there's any other reason.
Well,
Really
here we
just
go.
hideous. Matias, though, trying to do some names on his red tag. He's already got 2 goals in the first minute or so, so trying to prove that it is a good tag. And Savage goes for a 50-50, just barely misses. Now Septic tries to roll the ball off the wall, but Matias has the ball. Tries to clear the ball, gets the gets the ball a little bit up him. Now Savage has time. It's one possessive touch. Goes for a wave dash, misses the ball, and now Ghost pops the ball up. Trying to pass to Radio Eagle, who just barely misses the ball. And pretty even midfield possession so far.
Yeah, I like that aggression there from Team Gold. They weren't just waiting for Team Aqua to hit the ball to them. However, Team Aqua are setting up plays for themselves. That's the one thing we're seeing here, is that Team Aqua are taking possession of the ball. Maybe they sometimes get a mistouch or not do exactly what they want to do with the ball, but in the end, as you can see, they're at least trying to take possession. It's allowing them to have so much pressure on the offensive side of the field.
Definitely, in certain situations like this where you are down 2 goals, it's always good to try new things to see, hey, what could we be doing better, what could we be doing different that could actually get us some goals and some wins.
What we need to see here from Team Gold, they need to get that possession going. As you can see, they keep trying to hit the ball as hard as they can, but it doesn't even look like they have the mechanics to clear the ball all the way down the field, let alone the boost to hit the ball all the way down the field. But at this moment in time, we have to see, can they get this ball to the offensive side, and can they start getting shots on target? Because as we see here from Matias, he's looking for the mechanics. He gets the hat trick. 3-0 now. Matias with all 3 goals.
He's just showing his higher level of experience in these. He's in academy now, but was a main league player, and he's showing it, just dunking on these academy players.
It's just something that happens, even though we've seen it in RLCS. Even when a lower level team gets that top 8, they end up growing so much from that experience. And now Matias, he's somebody who's played in the main league. Maybe he wasn't good enough to stay there, but maybe it's now to the point where he has so much experience that if he can keep practicing, now that he's in Academy League, maybe he can get up to be one of the top players in the Academy League.
Exactly. He may not have been perfect for main league, but he is showing why he deserves to be at the top of academy, and he's trying to put his team into the playoffs.
Here we go, though. It's your boy. Pops the ball up high. It's going to be over to Septic. Septic clears the ball down the field. It's still 3-0, and looks like that's going to be a very strong clear. Team Gold actually got the clear all the way down, but Matias will be the first one to get that wall read.
He's going for another shot. I think he's at 5 shots right now. Just an absolute clinic on offense for his team. Just all the offensive pressure. 5 goals, 500 points. Now Ghostminer trying to set up a play of his own. Savage is there for the read. Savage now tries to get to the ceiling, and the ball bounces out mid. Septic beats the Team Aqua player to the ball. And now Matias on his backboard. 50's 2 players, but Ghost is there. Misses the open net, and still accuracy plaguing this Team Gold roster.
Exactly, but now it's going to be over to Savage. Savage puts the ball over to the side. It's going to be back over to It's Your Boy. I believe It's Your Boy is actually Hawaiian. He's playing from Hawaii, and he's actually still playing on an E server. He has 120 ping to an E server. It's about the same amount of ping that Japan gets to US West, so it's definitely playable here for It's Your Boy, but he's definitely probably not somebody who practices on that US E server.
Definitely, but it really shows the diversity we have in Havoc. We have Japanese players, Hawaiian players, players from all over the world, even Oceania.
And it's something that we definitely want to encourage because, of course, at Havoc Esports, we try to offer all of our players who play in the league free coaching. If you guys do not know and you guys want to experience it, play in our leagues and also get the perks of the free coaching, you guys can do !Discord or go to the Discord down below. Join our server. Not only will you be able to participate in the coaching, you'll also be able to participate in our game nights, join our leagues, and even our fun tournaments, even if you can't join the league play itself.
Definitely, and there's always chances that players, usually rosters will need a sub once or twice. Rosters will need subs usually 1 per week usually, so you always have a chance to even play in matches even though if you're not actually on a team.
Exactly, but here we go. Savage looking for the dribble play. Ends up pinching it with Matias. Matias looking for a 4th goal. Ball will get popped out of the mid. It's your boy looking for the double tap on his own. Ball ends up popping off the ceiling. Savage looking for the shot, and it's going to touch the ground. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Havoc Academy League. I'm your host, HVC Luke, and today I'm being joined with, for this interview, the man himself, Savage. How you doing?
I'm doing well, guys. How are y'all?
I'm doing great, thank you. So, just let's get right into this interview. So, going into this series, of course, you guys, I believe you guys did really well. You didn't win last week, I believe, right? In the first week, you had a bye or something like that.
First week we actually had a forfeit, is the way that it went down. And
Yeah,
the
there you
second
go.
week, yeah, we unfortunately did take a loss, but we did bounce back well this week.
Exactly. You're now going to be into the playoffs. You guys got a really good win there at the sweep, so you're most likely going to be facing off against Team Black rather than Team Sapphire, since Team Sapphire actually got first seed after the last 2 weeks. So going into that match, they're a team that you've played against before. How are you guys going to prepare for that?
I mean, we're just gonna go in the same play style that we just had. Have some fun. I mean, our comms were just fluent. We're just laid back, relaxed. If we go in and win, awesome. If not, then it's a learning experience for us. I mean, I know I have one of my players in here. He's a little bit of a lower rank, but he's played well, did really well, and I'd like to give him a lot of credit there for all of his practice and hard work that he's been putting into the game.
Yeah, there we go. That sounds really all well and good. So of course, because of course you guys, I assume, are going to be pushing for that promotion relegation spot. However, with the likes of Team Sapphire and Team Black, what do you think they have that really puts them a little bit of a step above the rest of the Academy League?
I mean, from what I've watched from the games, it's just their consistency. I mean, they don't really have like a main player that's like a big carry. They just have like all three very solid players, and all three just rotating very well around each other.
Exactly, and that's something that they also have that, at least from my perspective, is they have at least a solid defense, which is something that either when we see look at a lot of academy teams, they either have just offense or they have just defense. So, is that something that you think that will change as the season goes out, or do you think that maybe it'll be even more uneven? Like, for example, the offensive teams only have more offense by the end of the season, or do you think that'll balance out?
I think in regards to that, I mean, if you keep playing the same play style over and over and over, people are going to pick up on that, and they're just going to take full advantage of it to almost to a point to where they might have to change their own play style. But in regards with that, I mean, I don't think there will be too much of a change unless other players, like a very offensive team, learns to play a little bit, maybe a solid defense, also compared to like a very steady offense that's just going to put pressure.
Well, that's great insight coming in from the man who said he was going to pop off tonight, Savage. So I can't wait to see how you guys do in the playoffs. Hopefully, you guys make it to that grand final for your own sake. However, that I think that's all the questions I have. However, before you go, if you'd like to use the stream to shout out anybody, friends, teammates, or whatever, the stream is now yours.
And shout out my boys, Matt and inappropriate name. I mean, it's your boy. He played well. Give him both the credit there. Girlfriend who I know has been watching the stream. Thank you, Bubby. And other than that, guys, continue to grind, enjoy it, and we'll see you guys up here. Hopefully, see you guys in the league next year.
Well, thank you so much, Savage, and I hope you have a good rest of your night and good luck in your matches later tonight.
Thank you, Luke.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen.